Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this series of videos, I'll be looking at the Judge Dredd case files in order and picking out the most prominent and important stories, as well as noting some artists and writers that actually appear in these books. Okay, so this is Volume 15 of the case files. The end of Volume 14, we saw Acropolis finish. This one deals with some kind of loose threads for that, and also a few other bits and bobs that kind of relate to an Acropolis. So first of all, we've got Theory of Death, which at the end of the Necropolis, Death threw himself off a building, apparently killing his body and escaping into his kind of psychic ghost form thing. So if you're reading this week to week, apparently this resolves what happened to Judge Death. Um, yeah, not quite everything is all as it seems, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Then we go to Nightmares, which is the kid from the Cursed Earth that helped Dredd come to Mega City 1 is given some bionic eyes to replace him. He suffers from nightmares of phobia and nausea. The two Dark Judge's sisters, um, and he gets kidnapped. And that's all about this one. Now, obviously, the best thing about this one is it's Steve did an artwork all the way through, which is fantastic. So you've got mass graves for all of the people that died in Mega City. Dre's getting his regen to stop looking like a dead guy, but it's going to take weeks to do, so that's why he's all kind of cut up and looks horrible. There's some really good stuff in that story. I mean, the Dylan artwork is just brilliant. I mean, the Joe poses he puts in is fantastic. Anson looks great. So yeah, that's a good one. It goes for a few issues. Then at the end of that, we've got them basically saying about people power and they need to be able to kind of have a say. And Dredd actually agrees with them at the end of Nightmares. And you go, okay, that's fine. Then we get to this one. This is PJ Maybe, what I did during Necropolis, which is excellent. We love PJ Maybe stuff. This shows how he survives Necropolis and how he manages to get himself a new identity. Basically, will allow him to carry on his reign of terror. Very, very good. Yeah, Macbeth Theatre 1, which is okay. And then we get to see Death Aid, which is Return to the Hunters Club. Basically, the Hunters Club go around killing people at random. And this guy realizes that he could make it a sponsored hunt. And 1st of January, they're going to do this hunt. And the club champion will be able to kill other club members and all this kind of stuff. And they're basically trying to raise money. This is a weird one because this one goes on for a fair few issues. But there was obviously some delay in the artwork because we've got Hunters Club all the way through. Oh, sorry, Death Aid as it is, the Hunters Club. Death Aid all the way through here, as in the right way of doing things. Which again, like I say, goes on for a fair number of issues. And then after it finishes, we get 4 or 5 stories which are called Death Aid interludes, which obviously went between the parts of Death Aid. So that's 7 parts. First Offense. So these are kind of little one and done mini series stories, which are pretty good. Stevie L artwork on this one, which is pretty good. One about a guy trying that two people from Necropolis trying to replace their family members that died by cutting up bodies and rebuilding them. Bit of Cam Candy artwork as well about some gang war, and then we go to Driller Killer about some robots and stuff. Yeah, artwork in this one. It's all right, a bit overdone, but this is we're getting into the era now where with Bisley and all these kind of people, we start to see this kind of hyper exaggerated stuff rather than something kind of not mundane, but more realistic. Not a fan of it personally myself, but there are exceptions. The apartment is about somebody getting rehoused after the Acropolis. Bill Bailey is about Bill Waking Home is about a city defense force from the Apocalypse War, thinking the war's still going on and basically all getting killed after doing strikes on these kind of like mega city locations. And then we get to probably the best thing in this one. Fairly simple story, but it's Steve Dillon again. Emerald Isle, which sees Dredd follow a criminal to Ireland, the Emerald Isle. And it turns out that in the future, um, Emerald Isle Island has basically been turned into a ginormous theme park where every Irish stereotype you could possibly think of is played out across the entire country. So effectively, most people there are uh, actual members of the kind of like the crew. You've got these singing tuna there. You've got the judges, which are very excellent as well, with the harp on it on their helmets. And they're basically there to kind of make sure that everybody's having a good time rather than actually kind of dispensing justice as such. Um, but the artwork's great. The colouring's really nice in this one as well. We had trouble when we started getting into colour. We had trouble with some of the colour looking a bit um, kind of muddy. This is kind of definitely getting up there with nice computer colouring. Very, very cool. But easily the best story in this one as well. If only for the artwork alone. But yeah, very, very good. Once we are over the Emerald Isle, again, oh, it's so good. So good, so good, so good. Once we're over the Emerald Isle, we get to this one, which is the Return of the King, which basically is Judge Silver, the chief judge that apparently should have died during Acropolis, hasn't actually died and he's actually come because of a zombie. And wants to be reinstated as chief judge on the in charge of Mega City 1. Pretty good one. Hunter's Moon is okay. It's not too bad. It's got nice artwork. I think this is this who is this? I don't know. It looks like Balky, but it might not be. Anyway, um, this is what I thought this was the first one we actually gets into the magazines, because obviously we've got magazines 1 to 10 in this one, but apparently this is not. So this is pretty cool about basically a vigilante going around killing people, and it's not too bad. Invisible, pretty good. Kill loads of people with a crossbow, and it's pretty decent. Oh, this artwork is so for me, and I can't for the life of me think who it is. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then according to the listings, there should have been another story between here, Judge Dredd story between here and the magazine stuff, but I don't think it either didn't get collected or it got excluded for whatever reason. So now we've got the Ice Injured Body Electric. Now this is definitely the first magazine story, and as you can see, the artwork is again more stylized. It's kind of we're in that paint style thing where a lot of the stuff in magazine, I think in the first time was painted rather than kind of pen and ink. This is Dean Ormston. I I did like his Dredd stuff. I know he did. I swear he did another series which I thought was really really cool. It might have been in the magazine, just another side story. Um, yeah, I don't mind this. It's it's okay. I'd still prefer pen ink stuff. Um, and what they've decided with this one, obviously now, is they've decided to collect all of the magazine stories at the end of the collection rather than kind of space them out. Because obviously magazine come out once a month, so instead of doing every 4 issues or at the end of each story, they put magazine story and they've collected them all at the end. Obviously, this will change with Judgment Day in a couple of books because that ran through both magazine and 2000 AD. So it'd be interesting to see what happens after that one if they do that. I'm not too sure. So yeah, this is another one. This is the Black Widow. Again, really exaggerated stuff, but this is Hickleton. Um, Probably one of my favourite nemesis artists after Brian Talbot. So I can kind of forgive him for being a little bit over kind of doing stuff. But yeah, I don't remember seeing much Carla Hickleton stuff. So this is nice to see this. But his Dread's really cool. Um, his uh, his monsters are really nice. But yeah, a little bit over exaggerated. But yeah, it's kind of in that kind of edgy magazine era. Yeah, not too bad. So that goes on for a few issues as well. And I think that might take us to... Oh, no, we've got one more. This is, again... Now this looks like Will Simpson again. Is it Will Simpson? Do we get a mention of Will Simpson in the credits? Oh, okay. Yes, we do. So Bakey was definitely that guy. Will Simpson. Yeah, this is Will Simpson. Um, Again, his stuff ran in kind of this color painted stuff through 2000 AD, so I got used to this.
But apparently this is magazine, so a lot of the stuff in magazine was painted at the time, whereas the stuff in 2008 was kind of more pen and ink. That kind of changed a little bit as we saw future magazines come along. But I think they were just trying something to make them seem more contemporary, more adult, rather than 2000 AD being the kind of like the teenagers version, whereas magazine was the kind of more edgy thing. I think there's more swearing and kind of nudity in the magazine as well. So I think that's how they were kind of trying to sell it. But all in all, it's not a bad collection. I still think definitely say that Emerald Isle is the highlight. But again, we are rapidly approaching my one I've been anticipating, volume 18, and I think volume 19 is Necropolis. So yeah, we're in this kind of the lull between the two mega stories where we're kind of doing the weeklies and the this kind of 3-4 parters. But yeah, still a decent collection, not too bad at all. Anyway, thanks very much for listening, and hopefully I will see you on another video very, very soon. Bye bye.